Last time on Wanderlust. Right when you get back to your boat, you just see a lamp click on right in front of you, and there's 5 people, all somewhat dressed like Lance, standing on your boat, and they just go, "We need to talk."
Here's the thing that I see, is that this commander makes bad decision after bad decision, and the only reason that you guys are still alive is because of Lance?
Alright, well, we gotta go get Tira. She's been put in the prison that I got sent to, she got put down there, and I'm unsure whether she's going to live much longer, given the way things are going in Echo Base.
Hey, Lance, that gift that you handed us a while back,
Yes.
when you said it will atomize everything, how much will it actually atomize?
Oh, like so much. Estelle, like way more than you want.
Like a distractions amount?
Like, I don't know that it wouldn't hit Smokey Banks.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's a great distraction. I just realized, hey, Fred, can you make a replica of this?
I understand that my men believe you have an unmaker in your possession that is currently activated. Shoot them, there's no way Lance would give them that.
You see 2 arms kind of like stick through the bars, and Tira's face press up against it and just go, I hope you're here to save me and not kill me.
I just had a terrible idea.
I mean,
What's your terrible idea?
It might give us the break we need to get away.
Your terrible ideas are the best, though.
I want to throw the fake bomb over the wall.
Yes!
Yes. That's what I was thinking of doing too, Vinny.
Because they're all going to scramble to go turn it off. And that might let us get away.
you can hear the commander no longer on the megaphone just screaming, "Deactivate it! Deactivate it!" I will say you get the aspect of distraction on your roll to hide. So,
Awesome.
it was, we boat away.
Now we boat.
Now we boat is better than what you said. The sound of laser blasts and explosions has long since faded away, as all of you are still trundling down the river towards the town formerly known as Smokey Banks. Lance is sitting with his arms around Tira, who is kind of like grumpily still lecturing him about trapping her while she was a mushroom, under the control of mushrooms. Well, she just kind of like rambles on observations about everything that she sees and is kind of poking fun at him. Guffey is like, has his hands over the deck of this boat and is snuffling out across, everything that you guys see. The forest is pretty dark at this point as you're sliding past. You can actually start to see a faint glow of Smokey Banks, despite the fact that there's a lot less power now. There is a faint glow above the trees, and you can start seeing some telltale signs of builder beetles and stuff as you slide down the river. One thing that you do notice is that the giant stone-scaled worm that had been staring down at Smokey Banks after being reminded of his name is gone.
I don't know if it's more or less alarming that he's gone.
I would like to have a better answer to that, and you're right. I'm not sure.
Right, I'd like to feel better, but I don't know if I do.
Willow hasn't said anything about it, right?
No, she hasn't been picking up my calls since I said I'm adopting 25 children.
Why didn't you tell us?
Oh, she's not mad, I don't think.
No, I mean about... Oh, you were joking with her about adopting?
I'm getting revenge?
By adopting?
She wasn't going to tell me if Lance... She was going to pry Lance for details and then not tell me anything. But I think, the proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Oh, Juliet like pulls Autumn aside and
They're
like
like
whispers.
cuddling on the deck.
I know, she like whispers in her ear, like, I saw them kiss.
I kind of figured, well, since they're cuddling blatantly on deck.
I just figured you'd be upset if I didn't tell you.
Well, I appreciate it.
What did you think we meant when we said partners?
Lance, you can't play this game with me.
I mean, partner can mean a lot of things. It can mean like lab partner. We work on homework together, or it could mean sexual partner. We have sex together, or lots of things that can mean.
Are those not the same thing for you guys? I mean, I have coworkers and then I have a partner.
Well, right, but you have...
I mean, in a military context, it could be your buddy that watches your back.
Yeah, that would be her, my partner, yes.
You don't practice science with anyone else?
Sure, but they're not my partner, you know.
I'm just saying you were needlessly obtuse about this, so I'm not letting you have this argument. Like, what did you think I meant? We asked for clarification and you didn't give it, so either you're a bad scientist, which we know is false, or you were being needlessly obtuse.
No, I'm a liar. I'm a liar is what I am. And then Kira goes, and he's needlessly obtuse.
See, I like her. You can do better.
No, I can't. No, I actually can't. And not to be rude, I like Lance a lot, but there's actually not that many other people that I know.
Well, Smokey Banks has been enlightening for all of us on that front, so...
I'm not coming here to date.
Cody, are we like coming down? Like, we're coming down river, but like, are we elevated?
Not too much, I wouldn't think. What are you wanting to see?
The worm was pretty giant.
It was very tall. Yeah, that's why you could see it.
Well, yeah, so I'm wondering if there's like breakage in the trees to suggest going down or somewhere else.
Oh, I see what you mean. Make me a danger sense roll. Because I feel like that would be dangerous.
To look?
No, it'd be dangerous if that thing was squirming around on the surface. It's huge. That would be like an apocalyptic thing to be writhing around on the surface of the world.
Would. That's why I'm asking. Whoop. Nope.
What'd you roll?
Well, it was bad, so...
Yeah, so, you know.
Can I do a notice?
No, I want to see what happens here first.
I gotta remember exactly what I think it's a +2.
So at least a 2.
No. No, it's a -1.
Oh, you died, actually.
I died.
You died when you tried to do that. You're dead now.
I just fell off the boat.
You thought about the monster and it actually broke your brain. All right, yes, Caitlin, you can make a notice roll.
Okay.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's the worst you can roll, Mandy. That's like the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah.
3.
3. You don't notice any broken trees. Seems fine.
Well, since there's not another path crossing our path, I'm hoping he maybe went back to his cavern. There's no evidence that he's, off crawling the world, or whatever this plane is.
Was Lance serious about the giant worm thing? That was real?
Does he joke with you?
Yes. Does he not joke with you?
No, he's just pretty much a bastard the whole time.
I think he's joking about that. But no, yeah, I assume that was a joke.
No, there was a giant worm.
What else did he tell you? We can corroborate anything you like.
He said that there was a giant worm. He said that there were stone frog people.
Also correct.
And he said that there were, multi-armed homunculus things that were building their own bodies and then trying to turn you guys into blood-themed art exhibits.
Did he say that I saved him from that?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
All correct.
Not known to lie all the time. Also, it's usually you don't lie to your partner, so...
Yeah, he seems like the type that would strike me as omissions don't count as lies.
Lance pipes up and goes, They don't count as lies, but you know what else doesn't count as lies? Lies. So, all of you cruise into town. I'll say at this point it's sort of late afternoon. There are a few guards, people posted near the river. There's really not so much walls anymore. They have long since been overgrown and started to decay and are just like not able to be repaired fast enough. The builder beetles generally try to like cultivate an ecosystem that makes it not terribly easy for things to just crawl into town, but it is not as separate as it once was. But you are greeted by people, again, armed with like either spears, bows and arrows, maybe a few of the like light reflecting things, but those don't work so well anymore now that there's not a ton of moons overhead. And yeah, so all of you roll into town. Where do each of you head off to like get a little bit of rest?
What time is it?
Like late afternoon.
Estelle's gonna go find Matthew.
Okay. What about everyone else?
I'm going to go back to Maul's shop.
I'd go find Willow.
Guess Fred's going back to his own shop.
We will just go in the order we went there. So, Estelle, you start heading out to find Matthew. It takes a little bit of asking around to get his location. What you end up doing is heading down towards the beach, in air quotes, which is now on this sort of like swampy body of water that spreads out from Smokey Banks. It's not as much of like a nice, clean, sparkling ocean. Now it's murky swamp. For like as far as the eye can see. When you get there, Matthew and like 4 other people are standing on top of rocks, and they all have bows and arrows, and Matthew's going, now look, what I'm telling you is, if I'm the one that gets the most of these things, then I'm also not cooking dinner, alright? So you guys either have to outshoot me or outcook me, but you can't do neither, alright? And you can see that there's these like giant, like, you know what like mud puppies are?
Yeah.
They're like semi-land-based fish. There's those. They're huge. They have big fanged mouths. And they're like snarling and snapping out of the water. And they're all standing on rocks shooting them with bows and arrows.
Is it? I thought we had said it was a lake. Is it? Has it become swampy?
It was always like, it is a lake, but it is a swampy lake. Like it's not, it's a body of water and it's fresh. But those tend to be...
But it does not have a tide anymore to move it.
Right, yeah. And they're nasty, yeah. Like a large stagnant pond is pretty gross.
Okay. Estelle will wait for their competition to be over.
So, like, eventually he's like, yeah, all right, I'll cook dinner tonight. I got the least of them. And you see him, like, hop down, and he starts, like, sparking a fire that they have, or, you know, like a pile of wood that they have nearby.
Estelle walks over. You know, I kind of think you might have thrown that, considering I don't know if you would have wanted either of them to cook.
Oh, Mom! And he, like, jumps up and comes and gives you a big hug. Now, look, don't tell them, but I'm trying to make myself less necessary. So, for these day-to-day things, I can rely on others. It's good leadership skill.
I'm very proud of you for learning how to delegate.
I'm learning. I'm getting there. By necessity. How was your, I heard the mushrooms are, like, not an issue anymore, at least not in the same way?
Definitely not in the same way. Don't freak out, okay? I may have, eaten one and now have a connection with them, which I actually think eventually could be really useful. But I'm like tethered in, and we took out what was convincing the mushrooms to spread to the degree that it was without completely killing that ecosystem. And now, since I'm connected in, if we ever need to find out what's going on, I can tell you.
So, I have good news and I have bad news. So, y'all told Willow that, she told me, and I wanted to know what the mushrooms tasted like, because it's me. They don't work anymore. So, because I ate a bunch of them, no change.
Estelle, like, does I want to, like, reach out and see if it's still working for me.
You can still feel everything, you just don't get a sense that the spores are going to infect everything that they touch anymore.
Got it.
Did we establish if Estelle is linked to Tira now?
She,
too?
I don't
Cheers.
know if you did. Oh yeah, you did, because she she got a sense of her, and that's not her family.
Oh, right. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
So that was mushroom powers, not forest powers. You guys have a lot of different powers.
Yeah, when we have the franchise card game for it, there'll be different colors,
Yeah.
so you can tell them apart.
Right.
Well, I really can't be mad at you, especially since we actually did have an antidote if it was infecting you. But I'm glad to see that it looks like the spores aren't infecting to the same degree that it was.
Right, yeah. I kind of had a similar thought about it, because, like, on the one hand, yeah, I wanted to, be able to do that, because it seemed cool, but then on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, honestly, maybe better to not. Might also be better to not.
Well, okay, so what I will say is I had a lot of time to think coming back on the boat, and I was thinking if people are interested, it might not be a bad idea for defense at some point to kind of know what's going on, since, like, I can still reach out and I can feel where mushrooms are and know kind of roughly if things are happening, or if mushrooms are getting trampled or anything like that. Could mean there's other people or something. We can talk about that more later, but just something to keep in mind for the future.
Yeah. Hey, do you got a minute to talk about something kind of... I know this was serious, but this is also, like, there's a town thing we gotta talk about, I think.
I'm wondering if it's the same thing I'm going to ask you about, so go for it.
Okay, look, so, we're in an old place here because we're, like, we're here and we're not leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And, we understand that you and your friends, you don't have all the answers, but, what do you see happening here? Are we staying? I'm not necessarily saying that's a terrible thing anymore. I'm just asking are you staying or are you trying to go still?
Are you asking me individually?
Yeah, I think the town's gonna need to know eventually, and I want to know fast. Are you staying or are you leaving?
Okay, so not the question that I was going to ask you about, so put a pin in that. It's hard to say. There is something out there that I still feel like we need to investigate. We needed to come back first. There was enough that we needed to come back and restock and touch base with everyone back here before we continued on. But I still think there might be a way to get someone back home. I don't know if that someone's specifically me. I have no intention of going anywhere without you or Mitchell, but there's still something that I want to look into.
No, it's fine. I don't think I'm leaving, but that's not the only opinion out there. Meanwhile,
Wait. I have a question.
Oh, sorry.
Hang on. Going back to the pin that I had, what happened to the worm guy?
It's gone.
Did you see him go?
It didn't, slither away. It's gone.
It just, poof?
Yeah, look, I'm gonna level with you. If it had, fallen down, we'd be eating it, but it didn't, so...
Wasn't it, made out of stone?
Yeah, look, usually things have a... Now, look, you should know, as a veterinarian, and as, more importantly, the mother of someone with culinary taste, most things have a protective layer of some sort. Ours just happens to be thin, but most animals are relatively adapted to not be immediately killed if something looks at them wrong.
I just wouldn't have been surprised if it was actually fully stone at this point, after everything that we've seen.
Maybe rock steak's good. Grind them up, make a seasoning, I don't know.
Salt's a rock.
So you didn't... Okay, just to make sure I understand, you didn't, in the middle of the night, feel the ground rumbling or anything?
How about this? I'll catch you up on all the things that have happened since you've been gone. Thing number 1, Wham disappeared. Thing number 2, I ate the mushrooms. Thing number 3, I got engaged. All right.
Oh, wait a minute.
Anyways, back over to Autumn, who walks into Willow's apartment.
What do I see? Is Willow there?
She has a little beach bungalow, doesn't she?
Yeah, at what point also is it like my apartment? I've been living there for like a year now.
That's sort of up to you to decide, you know? Is it your apartment? Do you have your own place?
No, I meant like as in like mine and Willow's just ours instead of Willow's.
Well, right now you do have separate places unless you otherwise have specified that you...
No, you specified for me that Aurora took my key and said, it's mine now.
Oh, okay, I did, and it's Aurora. So you walk into Willow's bungalow. Aurora and Willow are sitting there together.
This can't be good.
Why isn't it good for us to sit together?
I just don't... She knows too much, and I like you too much.
I find talking to her fascinating. I get to learn all about stories from when you were a kid. I get to learn about how you acted to your parents. I get to learn about other people that you've dated.
I'm sure there's something in the wilderness that needs to be handled. I'll be back in 3 weeks.
Nope. Actually, we need to talk to you.
See, I said nothing good.
Okay, business first. How many people did you adopt?
Surprisingly enough, it's hard to find children in the...
I didn't say children. How many people did you adopt?
Technically none, but I did offer asylum to 7.
7. Do we need to... Does Matthew need to be informed that there's asylum for 7 people?
Well, you informed him about the 5, right?
Yes, I guess how hostily are there 7 people?
Well, the 5 beat us back, so however they're handling it. And Lance and his girlfriend are...
No. What I'm getting at is Echo Base going to come and burn down our village because we took 7 of their people?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna level with you that is... Okay, that's not the only thing we needed to talk about, but we're gonna circle around to that. Don't worry, we're gonna get to that.
I every time I ask anyone about it, all the answer I get is they don't have enough people to do that. They have bigger concerns. And I'm like, you're not saying no. And then Lance is like, they don't have the people to do that.
I'll talk to Lance about it. We'll get a plan.
Yeah, he's in town now. I don't know where he's staying.
Oh, it's fine.
Right now he's living on my boat?
No, he's not. He had a place here already.
How much was he staying here?
I mean, occasionally.
You know what? I don't actually want to know.
No, you don't. You guys don't get along, and I do. So, it's one of those things that's like, it's a little awkward, so I just kind of decided not to involve you in it more than you needed to be.
That, honestly, I'm okay with that.
Right? It wasn't like, it's not in like I think you're gonna mind, but it's like, you're not gonna be happy when you find out how often he was here and is here, so...
I think I understand him a little bit better now, and I'm a little bit more forgiving, but I also think he's still just kind of a jerk.
Anyways, we're gonna scurry past insulting my friend and go on to, So, okay, that's not what we needed to talk to you about, and then Aurora cuts her off. What we need to talk to you about, dear sister, is what to do next. So, some people in town are getting quite comfortable with the notion of us being here. I'm not one of them. I came to visit you a long time ago, and now I'm running a town in a nonsense location, and do at some point actually need to get back to my home. So here's kind of... You and your friends have a habit of doing things kind of your own volition that end up being better for all of us, I think, in the long run. We're not complaining about that. However, I am curious maybe what you want, what your hope is. Are we trying to make this a viable place to stay forever? Or are we trying to get out of here because Matthew is currently fighting mud puppies that I am not kidding, I saw bite through bone. They're the size of angry dogs and they bite through bone. They're 30 feet from here. If I go and swim in the pond, I'll get killed by a mud puppy that's the size of a gigantic snapping turtle.
That's why you bring a knife. Haven't you talked to Honey? She, says every lady should carry a knife.
Honey is a mad old lady who spends more time giving cryptic advice and trying to hit on everything that moves than actually making sure the town was running. So no, I have not discussed the delicate points of knife work with Honey.
Well, maybe if you listened to her advice more, you'd feel a little bit more equipped to go swimming with the mud puppies. I'm just saying.
Honey is a crazy old lady that lived in a backwater town that fell out of reality. And I had the bad fortune to be there when it happened.
But at least you've gotten to spend a lot of quality time with me when I'm not out doing goddess knows what.
No, I haven't. I've gotten to spend a lot of quality time with Willow.
I mean, she is my better half, so technically it's me.
Aurora just, puts her head in her hands. What your sister's trying to say is that we are curious if you and your friends have, a goal, maybe a hint, have discovered anything that might let us decide our fate more than make do with our fate.
So I can make no promises because, you know that I've been basically triage for forever.
Okay.
Unless of, a problem comes up and we typically solve it. We don't go and figure things out beforehand. However, we do know of something called the Heart of the Forest that the mushrooms wanted to spread into, which feels like it might be something.
Aurora just stands up and starts pacing, just goes, more of this cryptic nonsense. What I want is a boat back home. But sure, you want to go to a heart of a forest. Let me guess, it's not a heart.
I'm going to level with you. I haven't been there, so I don't know. But I'm guessing it's more metaphorical and less literal.
Yeah, she just is stomping around and huffing at this point.
This is why I told you to read more books. She was never really suited to literature.
She stops and stares at you and goes, life is not a make-believe book. There's not a book that explains every possible thing that can happen. Sometimes, Autumn, sometimes you're drawing conclusions that make no sense from books that aren't about you.
Autumn, looks back out over at the lake and looks back. Yeah, I'm just saying, one of us has adapted pretty well to being in nonsense land, and one of us is struggling, so...
I don't know if that's something that I consider aspirational. Okay, back to the point. So, you have this heart that you want to go to, and then we're gonna leave?
I mean, our guess is it connects all the different worlds. Is that a guess we have?
You can guess whatever you want.
Okay. My guess is that it probably is something that would help the mushrooms spread to different worlds and connects them. So I'm guessing that there is some circuitous route that we can find, wayfind our way through, and end up back on Novathea. I cannot promise that.
I guess unless some other end-of-the-world thing comes up, a lot of people in this town would appreciate it if you focused your attention there.
I mean, I think that's what we're going to do, but, we wanted to check in with the town first. Also, I like to take a break every now and then. It's really fun going out into the wilderness, but after 3 weeks of not having hot water, it is less fun.
I don't know that I care about you, and then, Willow cuts her off. I think she's right. I think she needs a break, which means it's time for you to leave. Not you, Autumn, the other, Aurora, not Autumn. The annoyed one.
We get it.
The annoyed one needs to leave. And Aurora just, looks at both of you and just goes, ridiculous, and just, storms out.
She seemed in a good mood.
She's not at all. She's in a really bad mood. Willow comes up to you and she puts her hands on your hips and pulls you in kind of close and goes, and you missed hot water.
I mean, if I said making out with my girlfriend, I think I would have I think she would have killed me with her eyes.
I think she was already doing that. I'm gonna go run a bath, and she, leaves. back at Maul's shop. Juliet, you walk in. Maul is not, like, immediately in the front of her shop, you know, like in, like, the main area where there's, like, supplies and stuff. Since being kind of transported out here, she has become very much like not a weapon shop, but it's not a weapon shop. It's like, do you need equipment to not die? It's more of that and less gimmicky. It is more like, hey, this is stuff that I found that would actually be useful, you know, like from my journeys. Come and
like odd equipment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Juliet will go in and then just kind of like look around and then head to the back room with the tree.
When you head to the back room with the tree, you see that she's sitting against it and her eyes are kind of like half closed.
Okay. Maul, you're here.
You see her kind of like jerk awake and she goes, oh, yes, I am here. And so are you. Sorry, I've kind of, would it be creepy to say I've been watching you, sort of?
What? You can do that?
I can kind of see somewhat through root systems, so I was using that to kind of...
Why didn't you tell me about this sooner?
Well, I didn't know until recently, so...
Juliet's already got a notebook out.
No notebooks. We're not in notebook time yet. Later for notebook time.
Okay. I'm happy you're home. I didn't know if you'd be out on a hunting party when I came back, and it's just really good to see you.
She doesn't immediately get up. She kind of like looks at you a little bit quizzically.
Can I go sit down next to her?
Yes.
Okay. Is it all right if I lean on the
tree? Yeah, it's fine. It's not going to fall over.
Okay. No, I just, in case you feel it, you know.
Either, you know, but that's okay because, yeah, it's fine. Anyways. I'm growing concerned about something I've been concerned about in a while.
Okay.
What do we do if the town leaves?
What do you mean?
Well, Aurora and a lot of other people, basically everyone that isn't Matthew, not everyone that isn't Matthew, that's not fair. That's how it feels to me. There are people here that are not suited to be here, which is fine. I get it. Not everyone wants to do what I do and live the way that I have lived. This, demonstrates an amount of stability that I have not had in quite some time, which I think you know. And I've had a less than socially moral life, which you also know. And I've found myself in a place where I'm useful and valuable and where I don't want to leave. And I'm worried that town might not feel the same way, not necessarily about me, but about this place. And if most people leave, then I won't be as necessary anymore. Does that make sense?
I think so. You're worried about there being a lot of buildings and you and nobody else.
Yeah, and maybe... I think if I'm being honest, maybe I'm worried about there being... Okay, let's say in your wildest dreams, we get to go back to your home world of Novathea. And you could go back to a school, you could go back to those larger eco-herbs that you've told me about, you could have all of your life back. I'm not sure I make sense in that place. I'm not sure we make sense in that place because of who I am.
Well, maybe I don't make sense there either.
I think you did, at least, but then is that a good thing? Now that sort of makes me feel a little bit bad. Because, like, is that because of me?
Oh, I mean, partially yes, but partially no. I think even before we got together, I was maybe already going down a path that would make me not fit there. And which is its own painful thing because I miss it. I want to go back, and the fact that it's closed off makes me miss it more because I can't go back. But I also don't. I think it would be foolish to try to fit back into my old life because that Juliet, I don't think she exists anymore.
She leans her head on your shoulder. I think what I'm getting at, and this isn't like to put an unfair decision on you, is whatever happens, wherever I can and can't go, I think ultimately always I'm going to be this place a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't not be a part of this place anymore. And I think that's sort of always been true. And the whole tree thing just makes it far more true now. And I like that you're here. And I don't want you to go, but I also don't want to be the thing that makes you stay here.
I don't think you're making me stay here, but you make me want to stay here. Does that make sense?
It does. I may be a little bit worried that it's sort of the same thing, but
I don't think anything is, I guess, nothing outside of the current universal situation we find ourselves in is making me stay here. But without that, if I get to choose where I want to go, I want to come back here. I don't think I would never, if, a portal opened to Nova Thea and I could go back and visit, I think I would want to, but it's not the end goal for me.
She kind of sits back up and brightens up a little bit and goes, "That's good to hear. I guess, it might be a little bit of a weird ghost town if it's just me, you, and Matthew, who I think I'm convinced wants to spend his time fighting monsters. Like, that's all I think he wants to do. So it's going to be a weird village with the three of us, I think."
Well, does Willow want to leave? I feel like she's Smokey Banks through and through.
I'm going to level with you. I don't know that me and Willow exactly always I think she is Smokey Banks through and through. I'm not 100% certain she thinks I am. It's fine. We're just not best friends. We don't really talk that much. She's got the whole town council. I used to be in jail a lot. It's a weird relationship,
Well, if it's, the five of us, because I'm sure Autumn would be there too. If it's the five of us that are the world, then we'll have a lot of time to get used to each other.
I guess. And then she kind of smiles and gets up and grabs a notebook off of a counter and brings it over to you and leans in for a kiss and goes, "Okay, we can take notes now. What do you want to know?"
Okay, but not quite yet. She gives her a kiss.
You can take notes on how good the kiss is.
I already know. I memorized those.
You should record that. That's important information. And she steals it and writes down, "How good is kiss? Observations." Cutting over, Fred, you walk into your shop. It's dark, and in your absence actually has changed a decent amount. You can tell that some of your tools have been used. It doesn't look like stuff has been stolen or anything like that, or ransacked. It looks like people needed stuff, and you can see sort of clumsily made attempts at tools on your anvil. As you walk past, it's amateur hour. You can almost feel orders. You can tell tomorrow people are going to be coming in hey, we need stuff and none of us know how to make it. You find 15 broken axe heads.
It's funny because I had an idea right before this that I was thinking maybe Fred has a requests box that people can leave him a note. It's hey, I need this tool, if it's some standard thing and they don't need anything specific, anything too fancy.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
And that was overflowing when he got back. But no, I kind of like instead that they tried and just couldn't get it.
Oh no, I'm yes-anding that one, Vinny. You open up the box. There's a ton of notes from people that are we need brush clearing stuff. We need machetes. We need like some pry bars. We need hammers. We need nails. There's like a lot of requests for nails, surprisingly. That's actually a big thing here. And it's a long process to make. And then there's just a sketch from Matthew of like it looks like it came out of, did you guys ever get like the magazine Bud K? Somebody who's listening to this is doing backflips and screaming right now.
Cody, we got 15 viewers, you know.
One of them gets it. But anyways, like, just like a giant stupid fantasy sword, and he's like, need immediately head of town defense. Like, critical for defense, all this stuff listed.
Does somebody put in a thing that our 6-year-old asked for or drew a picture of recently, a common blood sword? Don't ask me what that means.
I think it's funny that it's common. It's not a rare blood sword.
Right.
The fact that he says common means there's a lot of them, one, and two, it implies the existence of rare blood swords.
Yeah.
Which both make me uncomfortable.
All right, is there anything else you want to do in your shop real quick before some other nonsense happens?
Well, I mean, Fred's gonna just start working on those requests.
Oh, okay.
Just gonna start working on them.
So you fire up your forge and, start hammering away on your anvil. And as you do, you can kind of like, it's not an atypical thing for the darkness around you to kind of gather when you do that. It gets deeper as the light from the forge makes your pupils dilate. But as the hammer swings, you almost feel it like echoing like you're in a cavern. You can feel like a damp kind of come over you. And then you hear faint footsteps as a man that you recognize, a man who you've seen in memories, walks in and looks at you. His eyes glow a sort of odd yellow and seem to be a little bit snake-like. Hello. I wondered if you would be back. This is Ash, the man who became the worm. Who you so the way the reason he stopped what he did was you called him by his name, which he had long since forgotten.
I forgot that whole sequence. It's been a long time.
Yeah, you found his memory and then reminded him who he used to be when he was the worm that was protecting a tree.
Right, okay.
Because you licked a rock and got his memory.
Because you licked a rock and got his memories, yeah. Technically, you got the memory of one of his, servants, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't an artist. It was like an advisor. An artist had brought him a statue of a serpent eating itself, and it was like a whole thing.
Is that the thing that made me, be afraid of the sun? Or was it a different thing?
No, that was a different thing. Yeah.
Okay. Fred's licked a lot of stuff.
You've been doing a lot of rock licking trips,
Oh, hello there, Ash. It's good to see you. What brings you by? It's good to see you being yourself again.
He grins. It took some time to remember enough to leave behind what I was. I find myself in an odd place. I returned to myself and then wandered in your lovely town, and many things are different and strange to me, but then, occasionally, I find something familiar. A blacksmith, hard at work. Even after a long trip, it would seem, you're here trying to make the lives of other people better, and I find that admirable.
I mean, I do what I can, and doing this type of work is where I feel the most at home.
I didn't start my life as a ruler. I was born with certain expectations, but truly, where I found the most joy in my own personal life, or in my own expression, if you will, I was actually quite a talented leather worker. I would at times help the blacksmith, or create clothes or tools out of leather. I was good at sewing and staining and carving it, but the Activity was beneath my station, and eventually I had to abandon it, but I did miss doing work that helped others, even when I was king. It's funny, I look at your town and I see my own. I see a town on the brink, a town that could fall into destruction or thrive or maybe even escape, something I was never able to do. But I wonder if simply being the blacksmith will be enough.
I mean, do you have another idea for what I should be doing?
I think maybe what I'm saying, Fred, is that I think the time will quickly come when you'll have to make a choice. You'll have to lead people, your people, in ways beyond providing them with tools, but rather with, frankly, making a choice for them, and then guiding them along that choice. I think you and your friends, the ones that found me, the ones that explore the wilds, the ones that have seen many great and terrible things, are ultimately going to get to decide the fate of this town, and then have to live with its consequences. He picks up the hammer and looks at you. I don't envy you that responsibility. I was faced with the same one once, and I think I failed.
Yeah, I don't particularly like the idea of having to make choice for everyone else. But I guess we'll see what happens when it happens.
If you don't, you should stay here and fill orders and never go with your friends again. How do you do that, by the way? He asks you as you're, like, hitting the hammer, you know, like forging something or, like, shaping some piece of metal.
Like, is he asking just how blacksmithing works, or...?
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is where I gotta figure out how much do I, the player, know about blacksmithing.
I mean, I think you could, gloss a bit.
Right.
Have you not watched 75,000 videos about blacksmithing, a hobby that you don't have the space for?
I mean, I've watched a lot of Alex Steele, so yes.
I don't have the space for the hobby, Vinny, but I wish I did. I'm not angry about it.
Part of the secret is making sure you get your metal to the right temperature. A lot of people think that you just want it as hot as possible, but that doesn't always work. Because if you make it too hot, it could get too soft, and then you'll smush it in when you go to hammer it. So you want it to be the right temperature for the metal you're working. And another part is using the right metal, because some things are better than others at certain tasks.
He just goes, interesting, and then picks up a hammer and kind of like joins you on another anvil and begins clumsily forging, axe heads and machete blades with you off into the night. As night fully falls around Smokey Banks and all of you drift off to sleep, Fred, after finally growing tired from filling orders, the rest of you with loved ones. Fred, there's just kind of a guy now in your shop who sleeps like a weird right side up bat, as in, just full straight up and down in a corner with his eyes closed, just like making a weird hissing noise. Anyways, congratulations, you adopted Nosferatu.
All right.
You got a Nosferatu. Everyone else got, their own cute thing. You got Nosferatu. Anyways, all of you drift off into sleep. And your dreams are disturbed. Your dreams are disturbed by an image of a sky full of swirling stars, moving quick enough to make you feel ill. By a forest full of odd colors, tents and stalls and the sound of laughter and screams of fear. And by a deep cave, the dripping of water and the ringing of hammered metals. Thanks for listening to this episode of Wanderlust. Music for this show is credited down below. If you like this campaign, you can find more of our shows at the Wandering Gamer website or on Podbean. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links in the description. Now bear in mind, in the wilds, some wander to get lost, and some wander to find themselves.